the good books, the Bible and the Quran talks a lot about, how we should take care of poor people. As a matter of fact, in the Bible it says that, you're going to always have poor people around you.
You are going to?
That there will always be poor people around. And it speaks a lot about how you have to give alms and do a lot of charity. As a matter of fact, in the Bible, it says that the reason why you have excess, the reason why God blesses you to have excess is because of other people.
Exactly.
Now, so and I'm sure that, it's the same thing. Now, but my question is, look at the level of poverty that is in this country, Chief Imam. It is astonishing. How and many of us who have, by the grace of God, that God has blessed us, we have quite a bit of. It's getting to the point when, if we are not careful, once they see that you are looking good, you have a nice dress on top.
It's almost getting there.
It's almost getting there. That you are actually the cause. As religious leaders, what do you think about this? What's your perspective on that kind of a problem?
You see, I keep quiet. In our organization, we just started a massive program on anti-poverty. Massive. Do you understand what I call massive? All the region preaches charity, encourages charity, promotes charity, and the importance of charity in our life. But one, is that charity enough? The one we are doing now, even those who are doing it, are they doing it rightly? For example, in Islam, I know the Bible has it tithe, and we have zakat, but there are a bit of difference between the Bible tithe and the Quranic zakat. Zakat is meant to develop poor people. I don't know whether Bible also, but it's not to develop the religious leaders. In fact, it's not even to develop the religious houses. It's to develop the religious people.
Yeah, a lot of the givings in the Bible too is also meant. Yeah, well, okay. I mean, the clergy has to be taken care of, but there's a lot of the emphasis in the Bible is also about helping
the poor. Yes. We just like the widows even,
We
just introduced a program now we call the Wakaf. That's what we call Wakf, is an endowment. The meaning of Wakf means endowment.
Okay.
You see, in Nigeria, that endowment, many people have been doing it, charity something, but they've not been doing it rightly.
Okay.
And let me give an example. We have a lot of rich people in this country who have been doing excellently, who did excellently well. When they died or when they are old, nobody's hearing anything about them again. Look at these so-called developed countries. They have charity that is sustainable.
Yes, even after they've gone.
Look at even Tata in India. The owner of Tata died in 1904.
Oh, wow.
Look at MacArthur. MacArthur, the man MacArthur himself died in 1978. And yet, what they left behind is still helping millions of people. Why is it that our own is not working?
Carnegie, Ford.
You see, all of them, they have died since, and they are still functioning excellently well. Why is our own not doing that? And that is the program we intend to actually publicize now, to make people understand that we need to do something like this, helping that is sustainable.
Interesting. So what do you think? Okay, land on the point.
So we need to do something that is sustainable, endowments that can take care of almost everybody. There is a local government in Kenya. Almost all of them, they used to this endowment that they do not need government at all. Even to get married, there's an endowment. For primary school, from primary 1 to 6, there's an endowment. For secondary school, there's an endowment. For university, there's an endowment. Even when somebody dies, there's an endowment for funeral.
Wow.
So you don't need to go and steal. There's an endowment for accommodation, that those who could not afford to pay a house, that there are about 1,000 homes that are there for people to come and live for at least 5 years before you get your own thing.
In Kenya,
there's a local government.
So the community has risen up.
So people are not, two things are fundamental here. There's one between being rich and being poor. It is only God that determines who is rich, but we human beings, we have to make sure nobody is poor.
Interesting, very interesting. But the flip side of that is that so we have a country where there is a lot of plenty. Our resources are among us. Human resources, natural resources, and where you see a lot of expenditure on part of government. We are just, the president has just signed the budget. It's almost over 50 trillion. And you don't see the challenge of the people.
In fact, let's start from the last palliative. I don't know if you are aware. The last palliative the government did.
Yes.
During when the dollar everything was.
Yes, after subsidy was removed.
Within more than 90% of people you can't say they've gotten anything about what they call subsidy, what they call palliative. The reason is, one, corruption is unbelievable. The politician, they want to use it to sustain or to introduce status quo. All those things that were supposed to be given to people to help people were actually being used as a tool of power. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So at the end of the day, nobody feels any impact. Nobody feels any impact of this thing. So I will still take you back to religious houses. During COVID-19,
right,
government gave a lot of people for COVID palliative. The one they gave to religious houses, I can tell you, I witnessed that of the Khan and I witnessed that of FCT pilgrims, FCT imams, that it goes to the lowest of the low and everybody felt the impact of it. But when it is in the hand of, I don't want to say civil servant or the politician, I'm afraid we can never get there. And as much as we are doing it the way we are doing it in this country,
right,
we can never, I assure you, and I want you to quote me, we can never get there. If the way we are doing it, the way we are still going to continue to do it, we can never see any success. I'm sorry.
So it has to be done how? Taken out of the government.
Out of the government hands.
So government will just provide the resources, the provisions,
and they monitor it from the way they are giving it to. If it is in the religious houses, let's say they give it to Khan. Before anybody will steal, Khan will first divide it into 5.
Because there are 5 blocks.
So all those ones, there are so many other churches in those blocks. They will also deliver to those earth one. Before you know it, it will get to everybody. Even if it will be stolen there, it will be very, very minimal.
Interesting. Very, very, very important point. And the same thing, for Islamic.
If you give Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, they have state leaders, they have local government leaders, and they have other who are under that they will control it. People will be able to have it because people will notice the amount they give to our church. This is the amount we give to our mosque. Everybody, you have it in the brain, your brain. You will know if they give them for argument, let's say 100, and you will calculate 90 has been shared to people. If 10 is stolen, because we are not angels,
right?
If 10 is stolen out of 90, I think it's a pass mark. But when it's only 90 that is stolen,
of course, there's nothing left. Okay, because of our time, maybe last question. I wanted you to give me your opinion. There's a little bit of controversy now. Everybody's fasting now. Even the Lent started today, this week. Yeah. Okay. The Islamic fast started. Last Friday or Saturday. And then even, people that are not Lent, like people like me too, started our fasting in February. So everybody's fasting now. But in some states, they've now said that, okay, for the period of the Islamic fast, people should not go to school. What do you think about that?
This is, to me, I see it as political. I'm sorry. If you know the history of fasting in Islam, they might be saying, yes, there is heat, but the heat here cannot be as hot as Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
During the time of fasting, there are a lot of things that were actually done that change the way things are being done. For example, the second year of Hijrah, when the Prophet moved from Mecca to Medina, there was a war that the Meccan wage war against the Muslim. They said they want to exterminate them completely.
The
Meccans, the Arabs. They said they want to exterminate Islam. At that time, it was a nascent. All the total number of their military is not more than 313.
Was I don't know how to refer to the prophet. Was the prophet alive then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It was even the target they want to eliminate. There was a big war. They brought like 1,000 soldiers armed. The Muslims, they are young, they're about 313. They do not have military arms for it. It was during fasting.
Oh, wow.
They fought and they won them. The 313 won 1,000 people during fasting. If you go to Jerusalem, there is a place where there is a mosque. It's not far from a church.
Yes, I know that.
That history of church, that mosque, let me tell you that it was during fasting in Shaban, during fasting in Ramadan, rather.
Okay.
The Muslim, what is his name, led the Muslim to win the people in Israel then. They won the Jerusalem. He wanted to pray. They now say, he want to pray in the church. He now say, if I pray in this church, they will convert it to a mosque. Say, I will not pray in the church. He now move away small. He prayed there. Where he prayed is now converted to a mosque. He said so that the church will still continue to survive. It was during fasting.
Oh, wow.
During Ramadan. The point I'm trying to raise there is that Ramadan is a time you are serious with your God. It's not a series of entertainment. It's a serious thing in the life of a Muslim. That for somebody to now say, I remember when we were in secondary school, up to my university level, any exam that I have in Ramadan, no matter how serious I've been, I will come out with excellent.
Wow. Because you're focused.
Focus. Ramadan gives you focus in everything which you do. The one I remember vividly was they were doing biology in 1983 in our WAEC then. Some of us, they believe we are not serious, but it was during Ramadan.
First, okay.
We are one of the ones that has best results in biology.
Wow.
And we are art students. People were surprised. See, Ramadan can give you anything.
So this idea of
closing school, to me, I'm not part of it. I actually don't believe in it. It doesn't speak well of Islam. I'm sorry.
And it's so new because this is
the first time as you are seeing there is an holiday in Ramadan. For Allah's sake. For what purpose? For what purpose? You need to work, but they know what they have. I can't blame them. But for me, even on a Friday, in Islam,
right.
Islam does not ask you to lock your shops on Friday.
Exactly.
He said, go and work when it's time for prayer, lock your shop. When you finish prayer, go back to your shop.
And we see that all the time, people will come out from their shops and pray. You know, for the time.
So for somebody to not say compulsorily, because today is Friday, compulsorily, I must not work. No. Islam is a religion that has a rules. You can't just come one day and introduce your own system. We have things we are following. We have the path we are following.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Chief Imam. This has been a very interesting conversation. But I always ask my guests one final question. Our president is going to be 2 years in May. You know, this is already March, so we have April. Oh, actually 2 months.
Yes.
You know, if you have the opportunity to give him an advice, you know, what will you say to the president?
Well, first and foremost, I will tell him Nigeria first. Inclusivity, it's important. You must make sure that everybody is, what used to cause war is exclusivity. So be conscious of inclusivity, one. Then two, be conscious of your people. Do not rely on your friends to give you information about what is happening in the country. Do not rely on the security around you alone. Because you will fail. If they are the only one you are listening to, I'm sorry. You should have opportunity or ways of getting to the people themselves.
You have diverse sources
of information. So that when you are taking decision you will take will be decision that will be in the interest of the people. If you are only following the advice of the people who work for you, you are not likely to have it right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And as you are there, be prepared for the day you will see it on a visitor's chair when you come back to that same office.
That's like the young people of this generation will say, word. You just gave a very important one. Thank you so much, Chief Imam Fuad Adeyemi, for your contributions, and for the great work you do with the Abrahamic mission and all the active work you do in terms of tolerance and bringing all the faiths together, and your work as an Imam, leading the people spiritually. And also thank you for your voice, thank you for coming to Inside Sources.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you too for the good work you are doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.